Recently, I came across this, the original Chicago Trivia board game. Naturally, I wanted it, so I decided to pick it up off eBay for $16. Honestly, I was more interested in the trivia questions than actually playing the board game. Although when it arrived, it seemed strangely familiar. Here's what I mean. The box comes with 800 questions and answer cards, a playing board, 6 player tokens, and 36 scoring chips. The object of the game is to travel around the outside circle of the board game, correctly answering trivia questions on each of the following topics: history and geography, big bucks, politics, sports, entertainment, and PhD. With each correct answer, a player gets to roll again, and if they're on the category headquarters, they collect a color-coded scoring chip for that topic. Once they have collected all the chips, they must head to the center circle and answer one final question, which is chosen by the opposing players. If a player manages to get all the questions right, they can proceed back to their starting position. The first to do so is the winner. If you played Trivial Pursuit before, you would realize that this is the exact same game, minus a few rules and details. Which got me wondering, who made this game? And of course, like most things from Chicago, it has an interesting story behind it. The original Chicago Trivia board game was released in 1984 by a company called Sarsaparilla, which had its offices located downtown at 62 West Huron. The company focused on creating trivia games, which were based on the Trivial Pursuit gameplay. I was able to find 2 other games the company created, the Notre Dame trivia game, and even one for the Chicago Bears. The idea of copying the Trivial Pursuit board game wasn't a new one. Trivial Pursuit was released in 1979 and became extremely popular in the early 80s. This in turn spawned countless imitations and a surge in general trivia games. According to accounts, the creators didn't really seem to care, and this was probably due to the insane sales. For example, in 1984, they sold between 20 to 24 million copies of the game at $30 a pop. Occasionally, the company that owned Trivial Pursuit, Horn Abbott, did stop rolling around in money and occasionally sue a company here and there. Sarsaparilla was one of those companies. However, it wasn't for the Chicago Trivia board game, it was because of this, a book titled In Further Pursuit of Trivial Pursuit, that was released in 1984 by the Chicago company. The idea behind the book was simple. They took all the questions from the Trivial Pursuit Genius Edition and wrote them out verbatim in the book. In addition to this, they researched and wrote tidbits and facts about the answers. It was a way to give the players of the game a little more knowledge beyond the basic answers on the cards. Horn Abbott saw it differently and decided to sue them. Now, Trivial Pursuit wasn't without its own lawsuits. Around the same time, a suit was filed by Fred L. Worth for $300 million against Trivial Pursuit for plagiarizing 1,600 facts from his own trivia books. Fred Worth knew his work could be plagiarized, so he made sure to include a fictitious entry into his work. Something that mapmakers and encyclopedias had done in the past with fake streets and mountains. One such question made it into Trivial Pursuit. What was Columbo's first name? Columbo being a popular TV show that starred Peter Falk. The answer provided was Philip, but in reality, no one actually knew his first name.
I'm from the police, sir. My name is Columbo.
Even with this evidence, the judge ruled against Worth's claim, citing that raw facts could not be plagiarized. Interestingly, you can find this question in Sarsaparilla's book. The judge suspended the sale of the book, citing that the design, color, use of scroll, and Trivial Pursuit name were grounds for copyright infringement. It's a cool story behind an interesting board game, which is actually incredibly hard to play because all the questions were written in the 80s. If you want to read some of them, I'll put them in the description below. You'll also find ways to support the channel in the description, and if you like this video, give it a like and consider subscribing.